Welcome to Tour Gliding. Today, we take off on an exciting sightseeing tour through the city of Guelph. We'll explore historical landmarks, meaningful public spaces, as well as more recent architecture and attractions that make up this thriving community. Well before Guelph was established as a city, there were people living and thriving on this land for generations. The land the city sits on are the treaty lands and territory of the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation. Located beside the Haldimand Tract, a traditional indigenous territory that spans for 6 miles on either side of the Grand River. Guelph's story begins in 1827 when the Canada Company marked the start of the new town. Chosen as the company's headquarters by its superintendent, Scottish novelist John Galt. Growth was steady at first, but everything changed when the Grand Trunk Railroad reached the town in 1856. The rail connection set off a wave of construction that shaped Guelph's identity. Locally quarried limestone became the city's go-to material, valued for its durability. Skilled architects, builders, and stonemasons used it to create churches, civic buildings, factories, and homes that have come to define the city's intricate and cohesive look. Fun fact, Guelph was one of Canada's first planned communities, because even in 1827, people knew you couldn't just wing it when building a city. Unlike our drone pilot today. Welcome to Guelph's former town hall, now home to the Provincial Offences Court. This has been one of the city's most familiar landmarks since 1856, when architect William Thomas designed it in the Renaissance Revival style. When it opened in 1857, its clock and bell tower became a defining feature, with a 2,000-pound bronze bell marking daily time and ringing out for fires, memorials, and major gatherings. Inside, the building served many roles over the years: council chambers, fire and police offices, and a busy market that anchored activity along Carden Street. The tower was later removed in 1961. Even though most people wouldn't want to be invited to the Provincial Offences Court, the structure has remained an important landmark through generations of change. By the early 2000s, Guelph's government offices were scattered across the city, prompting the decision to construct a new, unified city hall. The facade of the Memorial Gardens building next door became part of the design of the modern city hall that opened in 2009. The new facility brought close to 300 staff under one roof, and renewed Market Square, complete with a fountain and splash pad that debuted in 2012. The new City Hall was built with sustainability in mind. The green roof boosts insulation, absorbs stormwater, and supports a habitat of pollinator-friendly plants. Also, after decades in storage, the original Town Hall bell finally returned in August 2023. With the bell finally returned, the landmark proves it still knows how to make history ring true. I'm sure you're facepalming right now. High on a hill overlooking the city, in the heart of Guelph, is the city's most prominent landmark, the Basilica of Our Lady Immaculate. Dating back to 1827, when city founder John Galt reserved the highest point of the settlement for a future church. In 1877, architect Joseph Connolly, inspired by the great Gothic cathedrals of France, began designing a grand church with dual towers reaching a height of over 200 feet. Local builder, stone carver, and architect Matthew Bell was contracted to work on exterior and interior details of the church. As fate had it, he never got to see the church completed, as he tragically fell to his death while working on the church in 1880. The church was finally dedicated and opened in 1888, though its towers were not completed until 1926. More than 50 years after construction began. In 1990, the church was named a National Historic Site of Canada, recognizing its remarkable Gothic Revival craftsmanship. The Basilica took over 50 years to finish its towers, which officially makes it Guelph's earliest example of a construction project running precisely on schedule. Flying near Guelph Central Station, a massive brick fortress can be seen next to the tracks. Built between 1906 and 1907, and designed by architect Thomas Fuller in the late Gothic Revival style, the Guelph Armoury became a hub for Canada's growing military. With thick brick walls and medieval-style towers, it's easy to see why many locals grew up calling it the castle. A large troop door serves as the entrance to the old fortress, and behind the main building, a massive drill hall that was constructed with early 20th century steel trusses, an advanced engineering choice for its time. The mix of rough stone and red brick gives it a rugged, old-world look. Through both World Wars, it operated as the place where thousands of Guelph residents enlisted and trained before heading overseas. During uncertain times, the community looked to this solid structure as a point of reassurance and stability. Today, it's still an active Canadian Forces facility and a recognized heritage site, known not just for its architecture, but for the generations of history connected to it. So with its turrets, towers, and fortress-like walls, the Guelph Armoury really does look like a medieval stronghold. Which is why locals still say the only thing it's ever been missing is a moat and maybe a knight in shining armor at the door. High above the heart of downtown Guelph, we follow the path of a street whose story stretches back to the founding of the city itself. Once part of the original Quebec Street, a commercial area that was laid out in the 1820s. In the early 1980s, the street was closed to make way for the Eaton Centre, an indoor mall built between 1980 and 1984. After Eaton's dissolved in 1999, the space was reclaimed by the city. The back half of the complex was demolished to create the Sleeman Centre, opening in 2000 as the new home of the Guelph Storm, the city's OHL junior hockey team. Its modern glass facade contrasts the limestone and brick heritage buildings of downtown. Inside, skylights flood the village-like corridor with natural light, casting a glow onto exposed brick and vintage-inspired storefronts that recreate the feeling of an outdoor main street. In front of the mall stands a bronze fountain statue named The Family, sculpted by William McEltron in 1985. Commissioned and gifted by the Guelph Italian community, it pays homage to the immigrant families who helped shape the city. The statue was crafted in Italy, where William worked closely with artisans whose own histories aligned with the sculpture's theme of migration. Old Quebec Street is the only mall where you can walk in thinking, ah yes, an indoor shopping center, and walk out thinking, Hold on, did I just stroll through a climate-controlled Victorian side street? It's the perfect place to shop and time travel. No DeLorean required. Gliding over the Speed River, we see the Boathouse on Gordon Street. One of Guelph's oldest recreational sites. The first boathouse on the spot was built in 1876, and over the years it became a hub for early river activities, including boat rentals run by the Johnson family. The current structure dates to around 1930 and has served many purposes, from hosting community gatherings to acting as headquarters for the Navy League during World War II. After falling into disrepair in the 1990s, it was restored in 1997 and operates as a small gathering place, including a tea room and ice cream parlor. Just up the river, we can see Guelph's covered bridge, a 144-foot pedestrian bridge built in 1992 by 400 volunteers. Inspired by 1800s lattice truss designs, it's one of only 2 covered bridges in Ontario and sits where the Aramosa and Speed Rivers meet. It links sections of Guelph's Riverside Trail system, giving walkers and cyclists a quiet place to cross the river and take in the surrounding parks and pathways. As we look over the river, just remember, around here, history isn't just water under the bridge. It's the whole reason the bridge is here in the first place. Flying over the south end of Guelph, we see the McCrae House, a small, mid-19th century stone cottage sitting next to the Speed River. Built between 1850 and 1860, it's known as the birthplace of John McCrae, the Canadian doctor, soldier, and poet who wrote In Flanders Fields. The house was designated a National Historic Site in 1966 because of its connection to McCrae and its value as an example of a modest Ontario home from that period. The cottage has a simple layout, stone construction, and preserved features that reflect the time when McCrae lived here. The site is currently a museum dedicated to McCrae's life. It traces his early years, his medical career, and the legacy of the poem that made the poppy a symbol of remembrance. Flying along the Speed River, we see the site of Allan's Mill, Guelph's first industrial building. It began as a wooden mill built in 1830 for the Canada Company and was bought in 1832 by William Allan. By the mid-1830s, the mill had grown into a larger complex with a brewery, distillery, and grist mill. Around 1850, the wooden structure was replaced with a limestone mill. The stone ruins are all that remain after fires and decades of industrial use. The Allan family sold the mill around 1877, and later companies occupied the site until major fires destroyed many buildings in 1966. The West Bank ruins are part of Guelph's Heritage Park. Nearby, the old distillery building has been reused over time and now forms part of a condo development. After nearly 2 centuries of mills, fires, breweries, distilleries, and redevelopment, the Allan Mill site has taught us one important lesson. If at first you don't succeed, just wait a few decades and someone will turn you into condos and a distillery anyway. The vast green space we see below is the University of Guelph's Arboretum. A 165-hectare space formerly established in 1970. It was created to conserve biodiversity and support research, teaching, and community programs. Today it includes more than 40 collections of trees and shrubs, display gardens, naturalized areas, and walking trails. The Arboretum functions as a living laboratory, offering opportunities for scientific study and public learning throughout the year. The Arboretum changed from former farm fields into a diverse landscape used for conservation and education. The site supports projects such as preserving rare Ontario plants and studying different growing conditions due to Guelph's climate zone. Its trails and plant collections attract thousands of visitors annually. With so many trees, trails, and research projects, the Arboretum truly has something for everyone. Which is great, because if you ever get lost in there, at least you'll learn something on your way out. As we fly over northwest Guelph, we see Conestoga College's Guelph campus. The campus has been part of the city since the 1970s. It offers programs in skilled trades, engineering and technology, business, health, life sciences, and IT. We also see the results of a $3.8 million renovation completed in 2023. The updates include a new welcome center, upgraded classrooms, a medical clinic, testing center, more study areas, and redesigned outdoor spaces. These improvements have modernized the long-standing facility and created a more accessible and supportive environment for students and staff. Moving further up Speed River, we see Goldie Mill Park at the corner of Cardigan and Norwich Streets. At its center are the Goldie Mill ruins, the remains of a 3-story limestone mill built in 1866. This site has been home to industry since 1827, when the first sawmill was built here. Over the years, the property saw multiple rebuilds after fires, including the Wellington Mills, and later the People's Mills, before James Goldie rebuilt the structure that stands in ruins today. A tall brick chimney and thick limestone walls remain from one of Guelph's most important milling operations. Goldie Mill once produced flour and supported several related businesses, including a cooperative and distillery. Milling operations ended after a 1929 flood damaged the dam, and a fire in 1953 left the building as a ruin. Even though Goldie Mill isn't quite the breadwinner it once was, today the city preserves the site as a public park and heritage landmark. Over the northeast of Guelph, we can find Guelph Lake. A man-made reservoir created in 1974. This protected space covers hundreds of hectares and was designed to manage water flow, reduce flooding, and provide a natural area for public recreation. The park has 2 man-made beaches, campgrounds, and a network of hiking and biking trails that wind through forests and reforested areas. The conservation area also includes a peninsula used as a venue for outdoor concerts, including the long-running Hillside Festival. Nearby recreational trails connect Guelph Lake to downtown, making it a popular place for swimming, paddling, sailing, rowing, and walking. Moving on to Guelph's south end, we pass above Preservation Park. The park features an extensive network of walking trails that run through mature forests and open fields. These trails connect to nearby areas such as Hanlon Creek Park, making it a part of a wider green corridor within the city. It's known for its accessible paths, boardwalks, and a mix of deciduous and conifer trees. The park provides habitat for wildlife and offers a quiet escape within an urban setting. Visitors often report sightings of deer, beavers, turtles, and a variety of birds. The park is popular for hiking, running, dog walking, and nature observation. Its size and interconnected trails make it a well-used green space for residents looking for an easy outdoor experience that's close to home. The University of Guelph is a public research university established in 1964 through the merger of 3 older institutions. The Ontario Agricultural College, founded in 1874, the Macdonald Institute, founded in 1903, and the Ontario Veterinary College, founded in 1862. The university currently occupies an urban campus of over 400 hectares. Its history is rooted in agricultural and veterinary education, which shaped early campus buildings such as Johnson Hall, a long-standing campus landmark. The university has grown into a modern research institution while keeping its historic core. The campus includes facilities for sciences, arts, engineering, agriculture, and veterinary medicine. along with research spaces tied to major projects such as space science instruments like the APXS used on the Curiosity rover. With roots in farming, food, and even Mars-bound science gear, the University of Guelph has really proven its motto: from the field to the final frontier. So far, we've covered visible, above-ground landmarks throughout this program. Guelph's past has a few mysteries and long-standing questions about what might lie below the city. Many locals have heard stories about hidden tunnels once used for smuggling alcohol during Prohibition. So what's true and what's just a good story? One of the most famous rumors claims the Sleeman brothers ran beer from the Albion Hotel to the Basilica of Our Lady through a secret tunnel. A tunnel does connect the two sides, but it isn't a smuggling route. It's a water pipe, feeding spring water to the Albion's brewery in the 1800s. The pipe was later sealed off. But Guelph did have real bootlegging. Bootlegging tunnels once connected the Silver Creek Brewery, founded by John H. Sleeman in 1851, to an area near the manor, historically the home of the Sleeman family. Beer was moved quietly in unlabeled bottles or hidden in farmers' wagons, sometimes sold as medicine to avoid suspicion. Stories of the tunnels under the ward also have some truth behind them. In the 1930s, police uncovered illegal alcohol operations there, including a raid in 1936 on a large hidden vat capable of producing whiskey. Tanks that are now visible above ground at Spring Mill Distillery were once buried below. Other tales have grown larger than evidence. One popular claim is that Al Capone visited Guelph and operated a bootlegging network here. But there's no historical proof he ever came to the city. Guelph's tunnels stretch beyond alcohol stories. The Guelph Public Library has hosted talks on the city's underground spaces, noting how bootlegging tunnels and even cigarette smuggling routes were part of the lore. These events highlight that while some tunnels did exist, many widely spread stories, such as tunnels linked to the Underground Railroad used to hide draft dodgers, are myths and not documented history. As we fly over churches, breweries, and old industrial buildings, it's easy to see why people keep imagining what might run below. Some passages were real, some were exaggerated, and others were never more than a local legend. But one thing is certain: Guelph's past is full of stories, and they've helped shape how the city sees itself today. Thank you for joining us on our tour through the city of Guelph. As we conclude our journey, we hope that this program has ignited your curiosity and inspired you to continue exploring this unique city, and to walk its streets with a newfound appreciation for its history and architecture. Embrace Guelph as you immerse yourself in its attractions while engaging with the friendly community that calls this charming place